And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, and hopefully interest you in a wild week here in toy news, but an even wilder week on my YouTube channel. Gotta give a special thanks to junior attorney Jeff George, and of course lead attorney Zach Wild.
Hi, I'm attorney at law Zach Wild, and I'm here to fight for you.
Thank you guys for helping me get my channel back with the power and help of Google, of course, as I did lose control of my YouTube channel for about 30 hours this week. Man, oh man, I was fired up. I was like 10 figures breaking in a review. That's what I'm fired up I was about that. I'm a guy of consistency, and I've been doing 4 videos every single day for years at this point. So I did get to miss out on a couple of videos there, but I didn't go a full day without a video being posted. So the small victories out there. But shout out to the Cardano Foundation. I guess apparently some Bitcoin type place, something along those lines. They did get control, and if you want to see more on all the gory details, check out the video I posted this week entitled, I'm Back, for the full story of my channel, The Hostile Takeover. How about that? We'll call it The Hostile Takeover. So, a wild week, more ways than one, but of course, hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving week for those that do celebrate. Maybe more on that in weekly purchases tomorrow. The mail girl will be there celebrating a special anniversary. A lot going on tomorrow in weekly purchases, so you'll want to check that out for sure. But a little housekeeping before we get down to the toy news. Of course, this week's toy news brought to you by Jay'sToysAndGames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15%. They had a Kyle Black Friday code. Hopefully you're following me on social media. They posted that. They had a Black Friday 25% off all in-stock items. You knew I was taking advantage of some of that. So shout out to Jay'sToysAndGames.com. Check them out if you have not. November Patreon giveaway. Brody Lee, Mr. Brody Lee will be the giveaway this month. Check out the Patreon. Got the monthly Q&A coming here shortly. My wife is going to join me for that one, so stay tuned for that. All kinds of early access to videos from both of my YouTube channels. Tons of content, and especially this time of year where we're doing top 5, top 10 best ofs across the board. A lot of those going up very early on Patreon, as you can imagine. So we're in the full swing of best of season. Going to have a ton of videos to carry us all the way through the rest of the year into the beginning of the year. And the fun thing about this channel is we've reviewed every single one of them. So once we get to them, we're going to take the winner of every single category. We're going to put them in a big Royal Rumble, and it's going to see who is the best figure of 2024. So stay tuned to those videos here on the channel over the next couple of months. So a lot going on right there. Also, besides the best of videos, did a special Q&A with good friend of the channel, Jeff George, this week. So you can dive deeper into the mind of a madman, like a young diary of a madman, Ozzy Osbourne. But you can hear a little bit more from Jeff George this week. We did about 40-minute Q&A. So check out that video if you did miss that one as well. Did that one on Thanksgiving, as well as a John Carver Thanksgiving special unboxing. Check that out if you did miss it. So a lot going on the channel as usual. But now we're diving into the toy news, and fairly somewhat quiet week this week. More about the sales, more about some limited drops, things like that. But we're going to dive into it. We're going to start it off. And of course, we'll do album of the week in the back half. So stay tuned for that as well. Now let's kick it off with Friday. Of course, Black Friday. Oh, the racist day of the year. Black Friday going on. The Big Boss Man, Bam Bam Bigelow, Coliseum Collection Ultimates from Mattel dropped on Amazon. I am sure they're up there right now for pre-order. I think shipping somewhere around Valentine's Day, and I'm very excited for that set. I love a big man set, and two of the greatest big men of the 80s involved in that set. So that should be a very, very popular one. I know it's going to be very popular for me. So check out that on Amazon if you want to. I believe it's supposed to go to Mattel Creations as well. So I guess if you want to wait for that, you can wait for that as well. We also saw this week Wrestling Collector's Shop getting a little bit of a scoop out there, showing pictures of the latest main event champions wave. We do got Roman Reigns, you do got Cody Rhodes, no stranger to any toy line, of course, in wrestling, and CM Punk. So we got 3 new main event style figures that come with title belts, if that is your thing. Looks like Wrestling Collector Shops has them right now. I'm sure a lot of other retailers will in the future, but that is the next wave of those. And then kind of out of the blue this week, I want to say it was maybe Wednesday, went up for pre-order on Target. I don't think there was a big rush there, and I can see a lot of people saying they're passing, or a lot of people saying, hey, I'm going to wait for a clearance in the future. But it is the AEW Target exclusive of Wardlow. So another Wardlow figure, getting the most out of our molds. We know how that one goes. And I think enough people have enough Wardlows by now, and he's been off TV for quite some time. I don't know how well this one's going to do. So it'll be interesting to see, but that is a Target exclusive up on their website right now if you're looking for that one there. Now that's a bit from Jazzwares, a bit from Mattel. Now we get into some of the third-party wrestling stuff this week. We did see our good friends over there, Grapplers and Gimmicks. They got all kinds of stuff going on every single day. Mitch over there did show pictures of Papa Shango and a new Godfather. He's redoing that Godfather. Constant learning, constant improvement. It's amazing how things have went from that original Godfather figure to what we're seeing right here. So I guess if you're after that, those will be up probably for pre-order before you know it. So he did show those two off. He also showed off the color renders of the Mutations line. Of course, we did see the Godwins looking like real pigs, I guess is what we'd call those. We did see those going on there, so those will be up for pre-order as well. Kind of a sub-line within a line, I guess we'd call it at this point. And we also saw a tease from him. It says, what's in the bag? And he's carrying on the bag tradition from the old Hasbro days. What could be in there? I guess we'll have to wait and see. As of filming this, we don't know yet. My money's probably on a Macho Man of some sort because he did announce 2 1-of-1,000 exclusive Macho Man figures. The black and white Attack ready for Black Friday. 2 different Macho Mans. Similar looks, but different figures. We will say that. Up on the Grapplers and Gimmicks website right now if that is your thing. Like I said, limited to 1,000, so head on over there if you need that. As I'm filming this, we're almost done with November. KWK, TJP, Takamichinoku. Sleep now or forever hold your peace. Order now or forever hold your peace. However you want to say it. Pick those up if you do need those. You can use discount code Kyle if you're buying at the KWK store as well to save yourself 10%. But we'll see what comes up next from KWK brand. A lot of exciting, interesting twists and turns coming to the brand in the future. We'll be on staying on tune on that for toy news videos, of course. Moving on to more, of course, Zombie Sailor toys. A lot of people collecting the Heels and Faces line, as we do know. I believe we talked about it a little bit last week. I guess we'll reiterate it this week. They got the Matt Cardona, the Slick, the Power and Glory for Black Friday. They got some of the old releases back in the saddle again. So if you're looking for some Zombie Sailor stuff, you know where to go to pick that one up, and a few new things as well along the way. We also saw from Epic Toys. Epic Toys, the former Cella, bought out Cella, and have really improved the brand, of course, or the style of figures, we should say. We did see Boris Zukov, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Atsushi Onita, and, of course, one Eddie Guerrero shipping now on its way to America, so we should have those in the next couple of weeks. Really down to the wire for the best of season. So many retro figures this year. It is going to be very difficult to do a top 10. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try my best. There's been a lot of good stuff this year for the retro line, but those are around the corner. And then in a surprise drop for Black Friday, we got that Black Suit Bobby Heenan. We knew that one was coming sometime. We didn't know where. It is coming as straight in stock. And we also saw a new version of Demolition, which was an amazing piece. A little bit of a repaint on the face, of course, making them different. To me, I'll probably do one set with the mask on, one set with the mask off. That's probably the way you got to go with Demolition there. But those are up for pre-order, and I believe Figure Collection is already sold out. As of right now, I'm filming. The Asylum store still has some of those. They could be sold out by the time you're watching this. I wouldn't be shocked. When they only made 1,000 of them, I think it was the case. So maybe it was even 500. I can't remember the total number on that. But things moving quick on Black Friday, of course. Everybody wanting to spend that money. Spend that money, I guess. Who knows? But that's it. I think that's it for retro stuff. Now moving on to a few different little things here and there. There was an announcement this week from the Marvel Legends team. Been a very weird year for Marvel Legends. Not a ton of releases like years past. We talked last week in the toy news about some properties being up and properties moving around. Check out that video. It's a very informative video if you missed toy news last week. You never know what the future might hold for some of these brands and in turn our collections. But we did hear from Marvel Legends. They are going to do a final year-end live stream, and they're going to talk more about this one. But it is Spider-Boy, and I am not familiar with Spider-Boy. I didn't know Spider-Man had his own version of Robin. Makes sense, I guess, but somewhere along the way, Spider-Boy came to fruition, and here he is getting his first ever action figure. So more on that later in December from the Marvel Legends team. We also saw some images out there floating around of the Masters of the Universe Cartoon Collection and Sketch Edition. And the Sketch Edition we saw a while back, we finally saw images of this. It is a 2-pack of the Sketch Edition of Hordak and Grizzlor before they turned into their final form, what we see here today. Interesting, I don't know. I'll pick it up just because I'm all in on the line, but doesn't make me super excited. But maybe it'll be better in hand when we get it here. We'll see how it goes with that. We also saw the next set of the cartoon collection showed off with Faker, and that's an interesting Faker, as we always talk about it on the channel and the reviews. Do you think of cartoon? Do you think of toys? Where do you go? I think of toys and the blue skin on Faker. This is more of a cartoon-accurate Faker, so choose your own Faker adventure, as we'd say. We also got from the Horde, we got Leech in the cartoon collection. Feels very early for him to me. Maybe not. And then we got Katra, which not super exciting either. You know me, I'm not a huge Princess of Power guy. We are getting those 3 in the next wave of the cartoon collection, so stay tuned for those in the future as well. Moving over to NECA, Krampus 2-pack, perfect for the holiday season, as you guys know. I really kind of want this Krampus one. I wouldn't say that Krampus was my favorite horror movie, holiday movie, anything like that, but I thought it was a cool looking figure when I saw it. It is a 2-pack with some extra swag over there on the NECA store, but you're about $150. And I'm like, you know, as much as I like this, as cool as it is, I just think I'm going to have to pass. I keep talking about I got to get the dogs some shots here in the next week, and then I got to get a snowblower. I'm like, real world stuff, toy stuff. Probably got to get a snowblower. My back can't handle a full day shoveling. And who knows, maybe I'll get lucky. There won't be any full day shoveling. We'll see what happens. So some things got to go by the wayside. Now, unfortunately, this Krampus, I think, will go by the wayside for me. But very cool for your holiday display. Very cool if this is your thing. If you're picking up the Krampus, NECA Online has it available right now. So head over there and pick it up. And then finally, like I said, slow week this week. Last bit of news. Lemmy has a new reaction figure. Now, Super7, they did promote, there's something coming with Motorhead, and I was thinking, all right, perfect time to announce another Ultimate. And a lot of you guys and gals, maybe no gals, but fun to pretend, said, Kyle, where's that Lemmy review? I got that Lemmy figure a couple of weeks ago, had not got around to unboxing it yet. Well, it has been up on Patreon. It'll eventually be on YouTube. Lemmy Part 2 Ultimate Edition coming very soon. And Cliff Burton as well. I don't know if you guys are ready for that. Don't watch that video on a full stomach. That would be a terrible video to watch on Thanksgiving Day. Things go south in a hurry, so check that one out in the future. But we are getting a new Lemmy reaction figure. I'm all in on the Lemmy reaction figures. Have them all hanging in my office, so I will be picking this one up. There's no doubt about it. More Motorhead figures, the better. I'm all in on some Motorhead figures. So Lemmy coming to the collection once again, probably early 2025, if not even before. We'll see what happens there. But like I said, that's it. That is the toy news this week. Fairly slow, as you can imagine. Thanksgiving week, not a lot going on. Very interesting. Really nothing from you from the couch this week, Todd McFarlane. Very strange, very quiet, very pantsless over there on the couch this week. But it was cool of you to come over for the holiday celebration on Thanksgiving, Todd. I know you're Canadian, but you understand it. You understand everything, of course. Had a wild Thanksgiving. We'll talk about that in weekly purchases. A lot of friends from the couch coming over for that. So more on that in weekly purchases. But first, before we finish this video, we got to get down to it. Let's get down to the album of the week. All right, album of the week time, a Thanksgiving album of the week. And when I think of albums and I think of Thanksgiving for decades at this point, I don't know about that, maybe at least a decade and a half, how about? I've had a tradition of every single Thanksgiving either watching this film or listening to the audio from the concert. What are we talking about? We're talking about one of the greatest bands of all time. Easily one of the most underrated bands of all time. It is the group The Band, and it is The Last Waltz, of course, filmed way back in the 70s on Thanksgiving in San Francisco. It was the final hurrah for the band as they broke up after that. Of course, they got back together later on, kind of, sort of, not really, in some ways. But that was the final hurrah, and they brought in Van Morrison, Eric Clapton, Ronnie Hawkins, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, a cavalcade of stars on that Thanksgiving night to celebrate the band's history. And like I said, one of the greatest bands of all time. Very underrated, especially in this day and age. Absolutely love the band. And for many years, I watched that DVD every single Thanksgiving night. It was kind of a tradition. Somewhere in the last couple of years, that tradition got broke. But this week, I did listen to the album. I'm going to at least do that part of the tradition there. And if you don't know the band, check them out. One of the all-time greats, of course, and one of my favorite bands of all time is the band. And perfect for Thanksgiving week, it is The Last Waltz, and that is my album of the week. But what is your album of the week? Let me know in the comments down below. Be interested to hear your Black Friday purchases, what you were up to on Black Friday. Let me know that in the comments as well. But that's it. That is the toy news. Fairly short. Probably one of the shortest toy newses we've ever had. It's like vacation here, Todd McFarlane. We got about 15 more minutes. Should we just ramble? Or should you and I go on a hot date and pick up a McRib for lunch? How about that? All right, Todd's in. He said, give me the McRib. No pickles? My man, no pickles on that McRib. I love a pickle, just not a pickle on a McRib. So Todd and I were off to McDonald's to pick up a McRib, and then that's about it. Right, Todd? Okay, but put some pants on. And while you're getting your pants on, I'll close up the show. How about? It's perfect. Sounds good. All right, well, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. Subscribe to my other YouTube channel. Don't forget the Patreon for early access to everything from both YouTube channels. Now on TikTok, doing all the dance moves. Maybe we'll get some McRib TikToks going on there. Check out the TikTok channel, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. And don't forget my book, a great holiday gift, right? Yeah, you know it is, Todd. It would be, of course, the complete guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and now newly released on Kindle. So check that out if you have not already. So there it is for another week of the toy news. I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.